Welcome to the Fall Gathering Yoga practice. I'm Ashley Sherburne, and I'll be guiding you through a short practice focusing on the fact that we all need the wild and giving gratitude for the wild lands here in the Badger and in all of the wild places around the world that have inspired and held us, recognizing we're not separate from the earth, we are of nature, offering the intention to give back to Mother Earth who sustains us. Namaste. Please start on all fours with your knees under your hips and your wrists under your shoulders. And we'll begin with some gentle cat-cow. Inhaling as you arch your spine, exhaling as you round. Moving at your own pace with your own breath. Every inhalation gently arching and gazing forward. Every exhalation rounding your spine and looking toward your belly. Starting to open through your spine and connect to the earth with the four corners of your hands, your fingers, from your knees down to your feet, nice and steady and grounded. Come to neutral spine and bring your left leg back and your right arm forward, and then lift your leg and your arm and reach in both directions. Long in your spine, lift navel to spine, and exhale, release. Bring your right leg back and your left arm forward. Inhale, lift, and again, reach back and forward, getting long, lifting your front ribs up to get strong in your core, and then exhaling, release down. Bring your knees wide, your big toes together, and settle back to child's pose. If your forehead doesn't comfortably reach the floor, you can place your stacked hands underneath your forehead. Bring your hands over to the right, reaching long through your left side body, from left hip crease to left fingertips. Breathing into your hips. Come back to center. And then walk your hands and arms over to the left, reaching long through your right side body. Breathing into your side body, creating space between your ribs. And then come back to center. Great. Now turn your toes under and lift your hips high for Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. And then you can walk your heels, pedaling first one heel and then the other, stretching through the backs of your legs. Come to neutral. And then walk your feet up toward your hands, coming into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Knees bent as much as you need to be comfortable here. Inhale halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, round and fold forward. Inhale, reach up, look up toward the sky, and exhale your palms down the center. Take a breath here and release your hands. We'll come into some sun salutations now, honoring the sun who gives us life. Standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Rooting through your feet. Inhale and rise up through your arms, look up toward the sky, and exhale, fold at your hips, touch down toward the earth or your shins. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, step your right foot back, then your left foot back to plank pose, and pause here in plank. Lower your knees to the ground and then lower all the way to the earth. Bring your hands next to your chest and inhale to baby cobra. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Lengthen your tailbone toward your heels. Release down and then inhale to all fours. And exhale again, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Lift your sit bones high and get long through your spine. Open through the backs of your legs. With your next inhalation, lift your right foot forward or assist it forward with your hand and step into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up toward the sky, and exhale your palms down the midline to your heart. And pause. Release your hands. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold at your hips, and again, bend your knees if you'd like to. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, this time step your left foot back. Then your right foot back to plank pose. Lowering all the way down to the earth from your knees or from a push-up. Inhale, come up to Cobra Pose, a little higher this time if you'd like, or you can stay in your low Cobra. And exhale, lower all the way down, extend your arms out in front of you, rest your head on the ground, and settle yourself into the earth. Soften, honoring the earth. Bring your hands next to your chest, lift up through all fours or plank, and push back to downward facing dog. Breathing here. Feel the connection with the earth with your hands and feet. And then step or assist your left foot forward. And then right foot forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale halfway up, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up overhead in a wide circle with your arms. And exhale your palms down the midline. Great. Now stand in Tadasana. We'll move into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Bend your left knee and turn your left knee out. Bring your foot to your ankle, your calf, or your upper inner thigh. Pause here. Get grounded and rooted like a tree, strong through the trunk of your leg, and then rise up through your arms, reach through the limbs of your arms, reach through the leaves of your fingertips toward the sky. Nice and steady. And then slowly bring your arms back to midline. Release your foot to the floor. Pause in the middle. And we'll go to the other side. Bend your right knee. Turn your right knee out. Foot to ankle, calf, or upper inner thigh, just not your knee. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. And then if and when you're ready, you could bring your arms overhead. Open your arms out wide like limbs, and again, reach through your fingertips toward the sky like the leaves of a tree. Steady through your roots and your trunk. Expansive through your upper body, your limbs and your leaves. Beautiful. Now slowly lower and stand in Tadasana. Bring your right hand to your chest and your left hand to your belly and take a few breaths here. Connecting to yourself, connecting through the four corners of your feet to the earth, and feeling steady and supported here, held. Step your feet wide now. Turn your right foot out, left foot slightly in. Bend your right knee over your ankle and then lift your arms for Warrior-Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Reaching in both directions equally, gazing over your right fingertips, taking deep breaths here as you steady yourself into your foundation. Bring your left hand to your left thigh and your right arm overhead and look up if it's comfortable in your neck for Peaceful Warrior. Back to Warrior-Two. Straighten your right leg, turn towards the center and pause in the middle. Open your arms out to the side and reach wide like a star, really expansive and bright, both grounded and light. Turn your left foot out and your right foot in now. Bend your left knee over your ankle. Inhale your arms out to the side. Gaze over your left fingertips. Breathe here, steady. Courageous, like a warrior. Bring your right hand to your right thigh and your left arm up and over for Peaceful Warrior, gazing up if that's comfortable, or straight forward if it bothers your neck. Come back to Warrior-Two. Slowly straighten your left leg, turn your feet parallel, and then fold forward at your hips with your spine long. Reach your fingertips forward and your hips back, kind of like a downward facing dog and a widespread forward bend. Then round your spine and bring your hands wherever they comfortably come, to the ground or to your shins, or even peace fingers around your big toes. Inhale halfway up, bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up to standing. Heel toe your feet together and stand in Tadasana again. Pause for a moment, enjoying the effects of the postures that you've just done and feeling a sense of gratitude for the support the earth is giving you. Now inhale and bring your arms up and overhead again. And exhale, fold. Touch down to the earth or your shins. Then step your feet back to plank pose or half plank with your knees down and lower all the way to your belly. Come into some back bends here. Bring your arms out to the side at shoulder width. Come up onto tented fingers and draw your shoulder blades down your back and lift your chest, lift your head, come into a variation of cobra pose. Breathing into your back body, strong in your core, your front ribs drawing down, and then lower all the way to the ground. Bring your hands behind your sacrum and rest them there, or interlace your fingers and reach your hands back as you lift into Shalabhasana. And maybe even lift your legs off the ground as well for Locust Pose. Lifting high both through your front body and your back body if it's comfortable. Otherwise, your feet can be down. Good. Now lower all the way to the ground, resting your forehead on your stacked hands. Take a few breaths here. Bring your hands next to your chest and come up through all fours and back again to Child's Pose. Bring your palms together in prayer and then bend your elbows and bring them behind the base of your skull. Gratitude, honoring the earth, these places we love so dearly. Now come to sitting, please, and bend both knees. Stretch your left leg out in front of you, bend your right knee, reach your right arm behind you, and twist toward your right leg. Really gentle here. Your gaze over your heart, or if you'd like, you can even gaze over your right shoulder for a deeper twist all the way into your cervical spine and your neck. Gently untwist and bring your knee out to the side into Janu Sirsasana. Reach your arms long overhead and then exhale, fold forward. With each inhalation, lengthen your spine. With each exhalation, fold. Be really gentle. There should be no pinching in your back. In fact, you can stay more upright here if it feels more comfortable for you. Reach your arms forward and up. Support your right knee back to center. And then hug both knees into your chest again. Extend your right leg long. Reach your left arm high and reach it behind you. And then hug your left knee with your right arm, gently twisting toward your left knee. Long in your spine, extended in your right leg. Again, looking over your shoulder if it's comfortable, or keeping your gaze over your heart if that feels better. Inhale, gently untwist and open your left knee out to the side. Reach your arms overhead. And again, fold forward any amount. Just coming to a place where you feel a nice stretch through your right leg and your left hip as well. Your hand can also be on your shin or your thigh. It doesn't need to go to your foot. Breathing here, especially breathing into your back ribs. And then take your time, come all the way back up to sitting, arms overhead. Support your knee back to center and hug both knees into your chest. Then open both knees out to the side, the soles of your feet together for Badakanasana, bound angle pose. Press your feet toward one another and press your knees away from midline, extending long through your legs. Keep your spine long and stay upright, or if you'd like, you can come forward slightly, feeling a nice stretching through the inner thighs. Support your knees back to center and then hug both knees in. Now bring your hands behind your shoulders, fingers faced in towards your hips, and lift your hips up toward the sky for tabletop. Feet under your knees, stretching across your chest, keeping your neck lifted and head lifted, and then lower your hips to the floor. And lower your back all the way down to the ground, your knees still bent, your feet flat on the floor. Bring your hands to your knees and push your knees against your hands, shins parallel to the ground, bracing your abdominals. Bring your arms out into a T, and then bring both knees over to the right for a gentle twist. You can look over your left shoulder if that's comfortable. Inhale your knees back to center. Then exhale your knees over to the left. Again, you can gaze over your right shoulder if it's comfortable. Softening, relaxing. Inhale your knees to the center. Hug your knees in, lift your forehead toward your knees and hug everything in toward your center. Then bring your feet to the floor and lift your hips. Bridge pose. Coming up with your hips as your arms lift up and overhead for a few rounds of breathing here. Nice and gentle. Hips lift, arms lift. Back of the neck stays long, chin stays lifted. Then settle your hips on the ground. Bring your feet wide, rest your knees together, and rest your hands on your torso somewhere where it feels comfortable. Settle. Enjoy the comfort of being held by the earth. And if you'd like, now you can stretch your legs out and bring your arms next to your sides for Savasana. Letting go completely. Feeling yourself return to the earth. Our home. That which sustains us, inspires us, nurtures us. Let yourself completely surrender. You can stay here as long as you'd like, or if you're ready to continue, you can stretch your fingers and toes, bend your knees and roll to your side, and slowly make your way up to sitting. Coming to a comfortable seat, bring your palms together in front of your heart, in deep gratitude for the wild places that sustain us. Rub your palms together vigorously, creating some heat, and then cover your eyes with your palms, rejuvenating your eyes and your senses, and bowing your palms together in front of your heart in gratitude.